Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Or afternoon if you're in IST. We are going to go and figure out how the heck we convert HWRPs to custom resources today. Lots of head nodding, lots of wavy arms. It's actually reasonably straightforward because the concepts map onto each other really nicely. And I've been going through the sous chef's cookbooks yesterday to remove delivery. More about that in a second. And we started removing delivery from a bunch of places. I think it's 160 or 170 cookbooks. And in the process, I came across the LVM cookbook. And I was like, oh, it's a really nicely set out, laid out cookbook. But there's only one custom resource. And then I noticed the libraries directory, which is where lots of stuff lives, like generic Ruby things. Like, oh, how about have a quick look in here? And lo and behold, we've got HWRPs, which is the old style way of doing custom resources. And you'll see why this is kind of like not a great way of doing it anymore. We've really slimmed down on the boilerplate. We do a bunch of really nice, what you call maybe hoisting into classes, much easier these days. So I guess we'll start there. Let me share my screen. And we'll jump right on. Hopefully I'll keep this short and sweet this morning. Anyone kicking around, give me a shout if my camera wants to see my face. I was just looking at this cookbook to see we've got an open pull request at the moment. I wonder if we can fix that. Maybe we can fix that. So I've got an automated PR, standardizing files. It started off as an automated PR. It's no longer automated, but this is fine. So what the files changed? So we've removed delivery, as in the delivery step. I removed the delivery directory the other day. Yesterday, in a separate pull request, that's fine. So now we just use this reusable workflow. We may well do a sort of quick how-to on reusable workflows at some point. They're really nice, but I'm not going to do that today because I can totally tangent onto reusable workflows. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to see more about reusable workflows. So what we've got here is we've got Alma Linux, and so Alma Linux is in our OS matrix, but it said it didn't exist in Test Kitchen. So if I scroll, and I want to see is, so I don't want to see the gem file, or the changelog, or the metadata, kitchen YAML. There we go. What's in here? Is open source? No, Alma Linux is not in that list. That's pretty easy to fix. So let's jump across to our VS Code editor, and we're just going to hop across to. Yes, I did just do that. I used VS Code to hop branches. That was weird, but it was easy, so that's fine. I'll take it. And these are our HWRPs, which we'll fix in a second. And in resources, kitchen YAML, and some platforms. I think I meant to go and do this. Okay, so I want to go off and grab. Just use the Kubernetes because I know I updated it every day. Another copy some things from another place. So it's not going to be super fun to watch. It's not going to be. There we go. I've done it already. Like, it would have taken me longer to unshare and reshare. What we got there? We've got Alma Linux. Not a duplicate. CentOS 7. Why is my... It's interesting. Usually... Okay, fine. So Amazon Linux 2, get rid of that. Debian 10, get rid of that. Debian 11, get rid of that. Fedora latest, get rid of that one. Ubuntu 18 and 20. Stream 8, lovely. 7, Rocky Linux, open source sleep, get rid of that one. Amazon Linux 2, Amazon Linux 8, sorry, and Amazon Linux 2. So that's fine. So CentOS, Oracle, Debian, 9, 10, 11. In fact, Debian EOL, I think 9 is end of life now, isn't it? Come on. 9 is... Oh, it doesn't go end of life until June, sorry, this year, according to the website. So fine. And then we're going to see up here, go down to workflows and CI and kitchen platforms. So platforms are, I wonder if I've got, so the platform, so this list here, fine, let's go and grab this. And then I want platforms over here, 8, Stream 8, Oracle 7. I don't actually care about Oracle there, so that's fine. We don't test it anyway, so. Debian 9. Oh, Debian 9 isn't on that list, so time to remove it from all of the testing. Debian 10, 11, Fedora latest. Ubuntu 18, yep, Ubuntu 20, Amazon Linux 2. Let's just pop these two. And I wonder if we can go and see. Well, it's visible. I'll so let me reshare my screen a second. Stop screen sharing and then open a tab. It's my FTP tab. So Oregon State University. There's an open source lab. There's a bunch of mirrors. I've got these are our Windows boxes, Ubuntu boxes, OpenSUSE Leaps boxes. What I wouldn't mind Lance doing at some point is grabbing us a box of Amazon Alma Linux. Grabbing us a box of Alma Linux and 2. I'll do the job. So stop the screen share because who needs it? Lance, can you mirror? Linux and Alma Linux. Oregon State University. OSU, OSL. So, yeah, Oregon State University open source. Cool. I wonder if I've got it in here. So others there. Apache. Interesting. CentOS. Right, whatever. We don't need to see this. And so we got that. That's fine. We're gonna have to leave that probably. So we'll leave Rocky and Elmer out of our test matrix. And I'm saying this like, you can see my screen. Oh no, you can't. So go back to CI and then we'll remove Elmer and we'll remove Rocky from that list. Update tested platforms. And get pull -- rebase. Lance pushed a commit up last night. So when I did a bit rebase, if anyone doesn't know, I've got my commit, my latest head, and it goes, oh well, upstream is the authoritative source. So there's a commit that's ahead of yours. and they're the commit or authoritative source. So what we'll do is we'll put yours after it, basically. I could do some more hand waving, but no one's listening, so yeah. Let's not do that. Okay, if I go and refresh that and then reshare my screen, because apparently we'll be switching backwards and forwards on our screen shares a lot today. So let's go and check our checks, and then I'm going to leave that in the background. So let alert thing in the background, and then we'll talk about what we came here to talk about today, which was right. So come back to main, and then I'm going to git pull check out custom switch. So git switch, so switch branch, any branch, and then we'll do custom LWRP to custom resource. The branch to work off. Let me just make it a little bit higher. CI YAML is going to be out of date, so we won't touch it, and that's fine. But what we do want to do is in here, we're going to add in a subheading saying something like, what am I going to say? Convert LWRPs to custom resources. Simple as that. I mean, that's the aim of the goal today, is to convert everything. Convert them all. LVM, what does this do? Module LVM cookbook. Require LVM germs. Return if defined LVM. Brilliant. Okay, so this is just optionally installing LVM. This is just a helper method. This is fine. Provider. Loads of current resource. So lower current resource. Do a bunch of stuff. Right, so what I'm going to do is move this into the resources folder. Thank you very much. LVM logical volume. So actually, we don't need that anymore. So we're going to smash together the resource and the provider. So you'll see, I say this, you can't see this. There's a resource file and a provider file. They come in pairs. The provider file provides all of the actions and does all the hard work. The resource is how you access logical volume group. There we go. It's how you access it, basically. So default actions, allowed actions, that kind of stuff. Setting unified mode. When you're looking at custom resources, and how does that map onto LWRPs or HWRPs? It's the top bit. And I'll show you what the top bit means in a second. So logical volumes to be created in the volume group. So that should be a reader. That's interesting. Name. Oh, this is. Oh, wow. This is like ye olde school. Logical volume. I think this is a HWRP. I don't really know what it is. It's actually more gnarly than I thought. It's more, well, it's less boilerplate than I even thought. And like under the hood, custom resources does all this kind of stuff. But we're making this happen. So, what am I going to do? What am I going to do, Dan? I'm going to grab that and resources. I'm going to put it in the other one. Why would you do this? Because they're one file now. So provider underscore LVM logical volume. Well, we don't need provider because what we want to go and do is create a custom resource called LVM underscore logical volume. Well, provider doesn't help with that. I just get rid of that, as it were. And the resource name comes from the cookbook underscore, so cookbook name underscore logical volume in this case. So I don't need LVM either. So I can get rid of that, and that gives me a custom resource called LVM underscore logical volume. Much like I've got an LVM underscore physical volume here. So what I can do is get rid of this. Require chef resource. We don't need that anymore because we're in the resource class anyway. Chef DSL recipe provides LVM LVM volume group. Volume group. But you've called it logical volume. That's interesting. LVM volume group. So I'm just going to say volume group. Why would you call it something else? So we don't need that anymore. So we're now calling it volume group, which is what it actually is. So providing volume LVM underscore volume group. So I'll rename our file volume group. Bam. There we go. And then we'll get rid of a bunch of other ends. Oh gosh, you'll see. Okay. So I've got rid of a few layers of indentation already. And we always want unified mode on. So there we go. Chef 18 requires unified mode. Chef 17 deprecates not stating it at all. So you need to tell Chef 17 whether you want it or not. 18 is it's just on. You don't get a choice. So we're having it on. I say we. So Chef's having it on. It's default action. Default actions are usually the first in the list of actions. If I keep on scrolling down here, scroll, in the provider section, the first action, is the create action. So the create action is the first one anyway, so we don't care about that. Allowed actions create and extend, so we don't need this. Only allowed actions that you specify anyway. So let's see what we specified. So much scrolling. Come on. Provider, create and. Whoa, that's a lot of creating. Let's type in action. Resize. I think it's just. So we've got way more actions than just remove. Yeah, so I'm glad we delete that because actually is a bit of a red herring for anyone kicking around. So logical volumes, you're creating the volume group. So hopefully we've got some documentation of what the heck that is. Initialize the LVM volume group source. We do not need that. That's arrow for us. That's nice. The name of the volume group. So here's where you'll see this. So properties name. Right, we'll just go this up. Property name. So property name. Oh, you want to do it the wrong way around again. Property. Try again. Third time. Property name. Arg. I wonder whether that's the. So it's name underscore property, which is true. So it's the name property of the thing. Unsurprisingly, when you call it name, true. And then it's a string. It's not a name attribute, it's a name property now, so get rid of that. That is regex. I'm gonna check that one in documentation. I totally rewrote the other day. Didn't move things around. If you don't set A default value is required, so we get that for free. Callbacks cannot be dot or dot dot. So let's go and check callbacks as well. Because I haven't done callbacks in a really long time. So, and then I'm going to finish off with a description. Name. Name of the volume. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. That whole section can go. No, all of that section. Just that one there. And then, why is this? What have I done wrong? Property, volume name, string, name property, true. Interesting. I'm going to have a cookie and think about that. Huh. Bench it up. I'm going to comment that out. I'm not sure what that's for. Nope. It's just comment the whole section out a second. I've done something weird. Yeah, really weird. Property. Physical volumes. Arg equals nil. I don't wonder what that is. So physical volumes are kind of, so it's a array and a string. What's that? Oh, that went down the wrong way. And there's less comments that someone's left for us, so we'll just use that as our description. We've now got a place for it, which is very nice of us. See what I was confused at here? I've got physical volumes. Name. So the property is name. Name property is true. I'll get rid of callbacks and description in a second. This is, people are gonna think, Dan, you're mad. How you type? No. Apparently I cannot type today. String is fine. Why is string not fine? Unexpected token TNL. What on earth? Unexpected token TNL. I don't know what that one is. So weird. Module class. I don't know. I don't know what it's about. Maybe I'll keep making faces, it will go away. Nah. Why? Why is it doing this? regex. Will regex be happy? But yeah, fine. We're going to skip this a second. Regex, why are you complaining me? Resource properties attributes should always define a type to help users understand the correct. Yeah, fine. There's the type. Something. Let me just go and see the regex. So, docs.chef.io/custom resources. Got my own URL. Oh yeah. Graham tab, custom resources guide. Okay, so blah 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 blah. Accumulators, helpers, partials, definitions, migration notes, HWRPs. Not this, because these are even nastier. Glossary. And I want to type regex. Oh, it's not here. Command resource? Interesting. It's infra client. Interesting. Validators. Found a typo. No. Okay, so stop sharing that. I mean, that's a mess. That's my mess that I created. So we'll come back to name, it would appear. That's fine, we can do the rest of them. Electrical volume group. So physical volumes. Oh, hi camera. Bye camera. Yes. Physical extent size. So property. Get rid of these. Kind of string. That. And then I mean, his comments weren't useful. A shortcut for creating a logical volume when creating a volume group. So def. So this is going to be property logical volume. What? Hang on. Creating logical volume name. So let's get rid of that. That's really weird. Property. Wow, this is really interesting. Like there's some really interesting Ruby in here that I've not seen for I'm not sure I've seen. I was going to say seen for a really long time, but I'm not sure I've seen it at all. A shortcut for defining a thin pool. Def thin pool. Ignore skipped cluster. Let's grab that. Property. So are kind of true false class. So it's not actually a true false class. We just want to do true false. And then we'll default it to false. We'll do description. There we go. Provider, HWRPs, platform introspection. I haven't seen that for. Is that even still a thing? Hey, person on YouTube, welcome over to see Dan's ramblings. We're just. Oh, no, they're gone already. It's cool. I was just going to say, we're converting our stuff. So, chef provider, we can get rid of this. Include recipe, platform introspection, LVM cookbook. We will include the LVM cookbook because we need to. We need that resource. This is huge. Jeez, I would seriously consider moving some of those methods into their own library. Those are current resource attributes. Return. So returns a logical volume. The logical volume resource. Fine. This is probably. I say probably. It's definitely all I'm going to do today because this one was gnarly. Require the LVM gems. That's a method coming from my helper. Restore the file system dependencies. SUSE else. So this is I think I can just make this. Edit redo. If platform file is SUSE and so I can grab this. I think this. So, install package E2 FS progs if platform file is SUSE and the new resource.file system matches. Next. Oh, it's just an external file system. Fine, that's cool. Def, thin volume, false. So what? Hang on, if false, that's never going to work. What? Oh my gosh. You know, sometimes when you find a bit of code and then you're like, this makes no sense. And you read it again and you're like, oh, maybe it does. It does not. I don't know. There's this thin volume method in there. And so can I just reshare this a second? Because I need to explain myself a little bit. Otherwise I'm going to seem completely mad. So we're going to raise an error if thin volume ? This returns false, whatever we do. this returns true. So what do we do? So if true and something. So actually, get rid of that. Then hang on, we've got. Hang on, no, what? No, what? So we've got. I'm getting attacked by my chocolate now. Ooh, I'm not happy about this. Sometimes there's a thin volume, sometimes there's a thick volume. What? I kind of. Wow. This is really not. This is bad. I feel like. Yeah, so okay. So I'm talking about converting HWRPs to custom resources. That is fine. But what I would do, in fact, I'm probably gonna do this, is actually I'm gonna move these resize commands, these methods. I'm gonna move these methods out into their own libraries, because then we can just test them, and that's quite cool. Things like this thin volume, I don't really understand why we're sometimes setting thin volume to true, sometimes setting it to false, if you're in a particular context, and that's fine. So I'm going to undo what I just did. But it's really horrible to, like, hey, I'm in context A, suddenly it's true. So sometimes it's false, and you don't. There's no deterministic way of determining it. And if you look back at the code that I just I lost somewhere, then also like there's thin volume, and then there's like it flips it on its head, so it's blooming peculiar. So I'm gonna just like step away from this cookbook slowly and make a cup of tea, because this is gnarly. So I was gonna go and convert them. I feel like I've bitten off more than I can chew, and by feel like, I mean I totally have bitten off more than I can chew today. I think I found out why that was converted. This to custom resources. Chat, if you're around, tell me if you've got another cookbook that you'd like to see converted, because this one is not getting converted today. I'm just gonna eat a cookie instead and say, yeah, it's beat me today, because that's just not nice. I realise that the deeper I go into this LVM cookbook, the more things need to be stripped out into if you can get a small bit of the code and test it, and then make sure that continues working whilst you're refactoring things, which is kind of what we're doing. We are really refactoring things. So like if you're going to move things around and make them easier to maintain, you're going to have a bit of pain whilst you maintain things, once you get into the maintainable state. That's what I really like doing for my own sins. Like, oh, I'll just rebuild this whole system, make it easy to maintain. It is now, but it takes a good 6 months to get into that really nice state. This is probably going to be not 6 months. It's going to be a few weeks worth of work here, which is why I'm totally stepping away from it. But if you've got a cookbook you want to see converted from HWRPs into custom resources that hasn't been done and isn't the LVM cookbook, then let me know. But all that flan in a cupboard, let me know. If you don't, I'm going to sign off for that. Thanks very much. Have a nice day.